Hey guys, congratulations. Some of you are getting ready to go on some dates. And you've been reaching out to me, asking me some questions about how to prepare. I did another video that I'll link below this video if you want to watch that one too. It's about like what happens when they show up, which is happening. So I have been chatting with some people on Instagram. I thought I'd bring up some of this, some of these concerns. Now, one conversation in particular I wanted to get to because she is going on a date tonight. Happy Cinco de Mayo for those of you who are watching it today. Okay. Okay. What is my head doing? All right. There's a lot of hype that's built up around these connections. But I want you guys to realize that as much hype as there is, there isn't in a way, because who is meant for you is meant for you. And the plain and simple fact is, if you guys get together prematurely, it's just not going to feel right. It's just not going to feel like the right time. And then when you guys are ready, it is, and it'll feel right. So keep that in mind as the basic principle, okay? There are so many different matters. Like, so many of the twin flames feel like they have to have everything in order, and they kind of have to be like perfect in order for this to happen. That's not the case. You don't have to be perfect by any means, but you do have to be mature. You do have to be to a certain level of being able to take personal responsibility, or just like in any relationship, if you guys start blaming each other and becoming codependent, it turns unhealthy. Yes, you can try to make it work in that unhealthy dynamic. You can totally do that. Or you can try to grow within the dynamic. So if you're in one of those relationships right now and you're finding that it's real rocky trying to make that work, but yet you can feel this intense love between the two of you and all that, so you're really trying, it's okay if you guys separate. And I only say that because every time I've seen twin flames separate, and they end up coming together so much more mature and so much more ready. The twin flames, they are just how do you explain it? They're not going to just, I mean, I have heard some stories about these guys like showing up miraculously different in a good way. They're never going to show up miraculously like or totally different in a bad way. I mean, it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare because just by design, twin flames are like drawn to each other and they're magnetized to each other. And that's because the universe wants you guys to attract each other, and then that attraction causes you guys to change and become better people. So you're only going to become better people. You're not going to become worse people, unless the worst kind of needs to happen, like a broken nose needs to reset the whole thing. But it's always for the better. So there could be all of this hype. There could be all of this like being so excited to see each other, and the energy is so intense when you do see each other that it's really hard to handle. But if you guys could try just not to have any expectations and just breathe through it, it helps. Just like take a deep breath and try to be really present in the moment, and try to let all of your defenses down. I'll also put a link to my video down below about listening, good listening, because that's super important. Hi. But it's really important to really hear the other person out without getting defensive. And you guys just keep in mind too, whatever they tell you that they've been through, whatever it is that they're going to say, you know, I was with this karmic person. It took forever to break up. They kept manipulating me and pulling me back in. I felt really bad for breaking up with them. And this was happening. You know, just have compassion. Don't roll your eyes and don't, I mean, some of it may be a little frustrating to hear because you've been like waiting, sitting here going, well, you knew that I was, you know, so much better for you. But at the same time, they have to experience it and they have to go through that. And it's really important for their training. And a lot of that aggravation that they had with their karmic person is not going to need to come out with you so much. You might trigger that in them sometimes still. That's just human behavior. We all trigger each other from time to time. But the real ugly stuff happened with the karmic. So be grateful that the karmic kind of got the worst of it out. And now he can be really grateful to have you. So be a good listener. Have compassion for whatever they share with you. If you are wanting commitment and they're proposing threesomes and foursomes and they're, you know, into polyamory and all that garbage, he's not ready. He's, you know, if they don't want the same thing you do, they're just not ready. If they should always want polyamory and you're not in that, you guys just, I would look somewhere else. You know, yeah, they may mature out of it. Because most of them are not in it for the right reasons. You know, it's not usually a mature thing when they're in the polyamory that I've seen, or polygamy. But you know, you don't sit there and wait for these guys to change. You've got other options. Wait till don't wait, but look for, when you're going out with these different guys, look for somebody, and that, because the soul flames are showing up right now too. Soul flames are going to be more ready, I think. That's what I've been seeing. I don't mean to take one side over the other or anything, but twin flames, they can act like things are different and kind of do a little song and dance that they know they want you to hear, and then they run again. So, and that's just kind of part of the nature of it, unfortunately. But do your best not to have any expectations. Be compassionate. Be a listener. Don't sit there saying, "Oh my gosh, this is the moment we're getting back together," or that we're getting together, or whatever. Halo, stop. Oh, well, so basically, you know, don't put so much pressure on it. Have fun, you know, be playful, be kids, be laughing and having a good time with it. You know, I don't know. Let me see. What else are you guys talking about here? You guys might want to do something fun, like just go out in nature, go on a hike, or meet someplace that's kind of like where there'll be like other distractions and things that are going on. That might help take some of the pressure off. Sometimes like a date is kind of scary because you're like, it's just one-on-one and you're in a restaurant and it's just the two of you and all this kind of stuff is going on. Let me see here. I would say the most important thing is for you to just be yourself, because your twin flame honestly is going to love the hell out of you however you are. So don't even worry about that. And the soul flames too. You guys have had so much past life history. Rely on that stuff, you know, rely on that, the old history between you guys being enough to really just, I mean, with the soul flames, it'll go faster. I've been hearing these stories, like don't be surprised if it goes really fast. But don't expect it. Just breathe, breathe and stay in the moment and just, you know, I know everybody's like both, because sometimes when the masculine finally does come to the feminine and he wants to start again, it's like she's really scared then. She's like, oh shit, now what do I do? Now it's here in my face, and this thing that I wanted so bad, maybe I won't feel the same way anymore. Yes, you will. Trust me. You will absolutely feel the same way. Nothing will have changed because that type of a connection with both of these types of true love, like they don't fade. It never fades. I mean, it could be, you could wait 20 years and it's not going to fade. You could have wrinkles and have gained weight and have had all kinds of things happen, and it's still going to be there. All right, so relapse of my fear, running away again, wanting to run for the hills, not ready to move forward, but really wants to. Okay, so that's where breathing comes in handy. Also, okay. So one thing you can do is take all these things that you resent or that you're upset about, and make sure that you've dealt with them. Like make a list. One of my things that I recommend is saying, thank you, God, that he's ghosted me all this time. Okay. Or thank you, God, for the karmic. Thank you, God, that he chose someone else over me. Thank you, God, that whatever it is, whatever the bad thing is. And then you make a list of 10 to 15 benefits or advantages as to why that's a really good thing that happened. Okay. This will get you in the right mindset to not be defensive and angry with your person, male or female. Okay. Awkwardness of having feelings for someone that you don't know that may have changed as much as you. Yeah, you know, what if I don't like their true self? Afraid of grieving who I remember, but I adored. Afraid of what I'll find out when they fill me in. Might be hurt. I'm afraid their vision of union isn't the same as mine. All right, so that's a thing too. You know, a lot of you guys haven't talked for a long time, sometimes years, or really ever even gotten to know each other. And there are going to be things that come up, like, do you guys want kids? What do you guys even want in life? Are you guys wanting to travel all over the world? Is that your idea of a life, or is it being around, you know, other family, or is it about being around somebody's career, or is it gonna, you know, it's like there are a lot of different things to consider. But just like dating anybody, you do have an advantage with these guys because there's already this really deep, incredible, intense connection. But it's going to be easier to discuss those things, and you guys just gotta get to know each other. You guys just gotta ask questions. I would just do your best not to. I mean, and I get this question too. Like, should you just dig right into the deep stuff right at first, or should you? If I were you, I would do whatever you can to make it light and fluffy at first, like just like have fun and be playful with each other. Like that is going to help you get your guard down. Go have fun, go take a walk. It never hurts to hold hands, you know, just get that over with. So it's like, you know, if it's too awkward, you can't do that, fine, touch. If you can, touch. I don't care about a hug or a, you know, whatever, but try to physically touch each other. It helps. It helps because it's like we're already acknowledging the closeness. Okay, we don't have to like necessarily say something extreme here. It's just like, let's just admit that there's this really sweet, cuddly closeness between us. And so just you know, just go play, go out in the sun, go do something more fun. Then as you guys progress or maybe go on another date or something, then it can be a little bit more like face to face, and then you can have some more of those serious conversations. But you don't want to come at it from a defensive place of, so what have you been doing all this time, and get ready to fight with them about it. You don't ever want to do that, because you want to have respect and compassion for the process. Okay, you're going to push them away otherwise, and it's not a problem if you do push them away, because that if it's supposed to push them away, they'll be pushed away. You know, so you can't go, oh no, it's going to send us into separation for another 6 months or so. It's such an aggravating process, I know. And so many, I mean, I even know of another twin flame leader who, she and her guy had it out. They had the most incredible, fun, playful time together. and they had it all out. And she was like, I just don't want you showing up and then running on me. And, can we just agree to start talking now on a regular basis or something that's more normal? And they both agreed on it and everything. And he still took off. So, and I've heard so many stories like that, and you really just can't get away from it if that's going to happen. And honestly, it's like, if they can't handle it, ultimately, you may just have to start dating a soul flame or a soulmate. If you're ready and you're ready to have kids, a lot of you are even like, I can't wait any longer to have kids. I just have to do this now. Then do what's best for you. Do what's right for you. It all works out. It's all going to work out in the end. Somehow, some way, you are going to be happy if you keep your vibration high. So you will have your needs met. And that is part of the reason some of these soul flames are coming forth, is because the twin flames have been dragging their feet for so long. It's like, the universe is like, TikTok, got a world to save here. So it's like, we need the vibration raising up, people. Come on. We need to get over our insecurities and our fears and get brave here. A lot of these fears come from stuff where your plans got messed up in past lives. So there's that fear. There's a pretty intense fear. One of you even dying or getting sick, or for the other shoe to drop or something like that. You guys watch Brene Brown's movie on courage. I think she just did a movie on courage on Netflix. It's a really good one that talks about this. But just be grateful for the conversation you guys have. Be grateful for whatever is said and see if it fits or not. If it doesn't fit, somebody else will. Try not to put all your eggs in that one basket, because ultimately, if he balks for too long, he doesn't have the guts or whatever. And so or you don't. And you just got to do something else. It's just life. There are no guarantees. And the thing that I would regret most is not being yourself or not speaking your truth. So if there's something you really feel like you have to say, make sure that you say it. And even if they run, they've heard it. You know what I mean? I have a soul flame that I've just really, he pretty much knows everything. I don't think there would be anything left that I could possibly say to him that I haven't already said. But I can die today and be just fine because I've expressed everything I need to say. So, and that's what it's about, you guys. That's what living is. You just put it out there, and then you see what they do with it. So do that, but just try your best to get over any judgments beforehand before you talk, so that you don't come to the table defensive. That's the last thing you want to do. And if he starts getting defensive, just make sure that you can separate out your own triggers. Hopefully you've been working on yourself and can take personal responsibility for your own stuff. And then if he starts getting triggered, just validate him. Just be a good listener. I remember the last time I talked to my twin flame, I just listened to him for like 2 hours. And we just walked around and I just listened to him. I don't think he asked one thing about me. No, I don't think so. I think the whole entire time was about, and he was nervous. And he just was like, yuck about the subject. Finally, and it could take this long. Finally, after like a couple hours, and we were sitting down and we were talking still. And then he just finally just like lets out this huge sigh. And I said, what? And he said, oh my God, you're like so much easier to talk to than I ever would have expected. I was like, well, duh. I'm your twin flame. What do you think? And so it was a pretty funny moment for me. It was just like, we're different than the karmics, you guys. We're just different. We're like made for each other. And so are the soul flames too. It should be real easy with them too. So needless worries, unnecessary worries, just be super grateful. If you have a grateful heart, you can stay neutral. And if you can just listen really well, you guys will make headway no matter what, whether you guys end up together or dating or not, or you know, if it really gets the ball rolling and you guys begin to actually date, which would be great, right? But good practice either way. You get the truth out either way, and just breathe. I hope this helps. I'm trying to think of like some other scenarios that might happen that you guys might be scared of. But you know, you guys can get the conversation going down below in the comments as well. Some of you have already been going on some dates, and you can share some of your experiences that you've just had happen. The objective isn't to keep them necessarily. You know what I mean? That would be lovely, because I know that most of you feminines are ready for a relationship. But really, the objective is to just share your heart and share your truth and be honest and kind to each other. That's it. Just be honest and kind, and let them know where you're coming from. Let them know what you would want. Let them know your boundaries. If they're not willing to commit, it doesn't have to be an insult to you. You just say, okay, thanks for letting me know. And then you go to someone who's ready to commit. So yeah, anyway, I don't know if this was very helpful, but just know I'm in your corner. I'm pulling for you. I'm there on that date with you. And if you need to watch this in the bathroom, breathe. And yeah, just you know, I could see you guys getting defensive about some of the situations with the karmics and stuff, but especially if you got her pregnant, and or even things that you warned them about, like, oh, use protection, or oh, she's after you for your money, or whatever. Even if you made the biggest mistake, and whatever, you guys are, just be forgiving, be understanding, because nothing has been a mistake. Nothing that's happened in this period of separation has been a bad thing. It's all been for everyone's growth. So the more you can get out of it, that you can grow from, the better, and him too. So come together with the purpose of healing and getting on the same page and seeing eye to eye, and that's it. You guys could decide you don't want to date. You could say, you know, this has just been wonderful and incredibly healing for us. So now I feel better moving on, you know, or gosh, this has just been really wonderful. And I think it's awesome, but I kind of trust this other guy more to be there for me. You know, whatever you decide, just go with it. And there are no guarantees on either side. So integrity, honesty, authenticity, and listen to your intuition. Be really in the moment. Be paying attention to how your body feels when you're going to talk to them. I forgot I was going to say that. Pay attention to whether you can relax with them and whether they make you feel comfortable to be in their presence. You guys will probably laugh like little kids. And that's awesome. You know, just have a good time with them, and feel how they feel to be around, because that's going to be important. You really want to be with somebody who makes you feel comfortable, makes you feel like you can be yourself. All right. So good luck. If you guys want in a remote reading, I do 20 to 40-minute readings. We could do that anytime. And we could definitely talk through some of these possibilities and go much more in depth about this type of thing happening for you. Or as your relationship starts to come together, I can kind of coach you along in more detail. All right, you guys, have fun though. Overall, have fun and laugh a lot. Make each other laugh. All right, love you guys. Talk to you on the next time we make one of these. All right, bye.